It is, well, you have a lot of fans here already. Rahela and Mercedes and Hiba, it is an honor. It is truly an honor to be with these brave women. These are the real victims of the Ayatollah, the real victims of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, who are barbaric terrorists who have done what they can to execute the most innocent women, men, and children. And today, we are honored to have both of you, all three of you, on our stage. And so I'm going to start with you, Mercedes.
Yeah.
I would love for you to share your personal story. What happened to you under this brutal Iranian regime?
Hello, everyone. I want at the first, I can't speak English perfect, but I try to explain my story. My name is Mercedes Shahinkar. I am an Iranian woman. During the Women Life Freedom Movement in 2022, I was a protest in the streets for freedom and human dignity, like many others. When police forces shot me in the face with the paintball gun, I lost the vision in my right eye. I remember the sound of my eye popping. I remember the heat and the smell of blood on my face. I remember that deadly pain and fear. I remember terrified looks of my mother and the people. They came looking for me at the hospital, but the brave doctors and nurses that were taking care of me put their own life in danger to protect me. They did everything to hide me every time the message came to the hospital. Of course, they didn't, and thereafter I went home, they attacked me home. I was lucky that I was not home. After that, I know I had a live with 9-year-old daughter. The Islamic Republic wants me to sit in the corner of my home by blinding me, suppress me even more. But despite the pain that I am still dealing with, I was not afraid of the Islamic Republic. And since then until now, I have been active as a human rights activist. Thank you. Thank you. For 74 years, the Islamic Republic has been arresting, imprisoning, torturing, and raping, and executing the people of Iran. We know that continuation of the Islamic Republic is more terrifying and dangerous than any war of the world, and especially for the innocent people of Iran. We are very grateful of President Trump and Mr. Netanyahu for helping the people of Iran. Thank you. Thank you. And for contributing of the destruction of Khamenei. Thank you, Trump. Thank you, Trump. Thank you, Trump.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Mercedes.
Yeah, and at the end, for contributing to the destruction of Khamenei and many criminal members of the IRGC. Thank you. Thank you.
Hiba, I got to tell you, really, it has been the Iranian women who have been the face of taking on the Iranian regime. How brave are these women?
It really has been. These women are example of 2 Iranian women, but there are thousands, millions of Iranians taken hostage by their own government. And Rahela shares the same fate as Mercedes has, experienced the same thing. If you want to tell us your story.
Hi, everyone. I want to tell you my story. It started on a day that looked normal. I remember walking in the streets. I had taken off my hijab. I was smiling. I felt free, even if it was just for a moment. I was not doing anything dangerous. I was just a young woman who wanted a normal life. Then, suddenly, everything changed. I heard a sound, and in 1 second, I felt a strong pain in my face. I fell, there was blood, and everything became dark. That was the moment I lost the vision in one of my eyes. Next thing I know, I was at the hospital. I was scared, not only because of the pain, but because even in the hospital, I did not feel safe. I was afraid of the same people who shot me. I was afraid they would come again. In the moment, I understood something very painful. Even being a patient could not protect me. After that day, my life changed completely. Security force came to our home. They searched everything. They asked questions again and again. I was arrested. I was interrogated many times. My family was scared. They told me, you cannot study anymore. You cannot work. You do not have a future here. Imagine hearing this is in your own country, the place where you were born, the place you loved. Step by step, life became impossible. I couldn't feel safe outside. I couldn't feel safe inside my own home. And finally, I had to make a very hard decision to leave my country. Not because I wanted to, but because I had no other choice. Leaving your homeland is not just a trip. It is like leaving a part of your heart behind. This is my story.
Thank you. It's really important to put it in context that why both these girls lost their eye. The Islamic regime, the IRGC, the Basijis went out on the street specifically shooting for their eye because they wanted to mark them so they can go back into the hospitals looking for them, to find them on the streets and then take them and to torture and kill. And this continues, as we were talking, Mercy, that even under bombardment, they're still continuing to execute, torture, rape women, and they have not stopped. So these women, we brought them here for you to see that this regime will not add anything.
I just had, Hiva, one individual come up to me yesterday in tears saying that there was a young boy who had actually a photo of Jesus Christ in his room, and they came in, the military, to assassinate the boy. You have the Iranian nurses who were raped trying to help the protesters. You had the wrestler, 19 years old, executed. And what is it, Hiva? Because it's not just what's happening in Iran, but tell us the mentality of this Iranian regime, what that means to that threat here in America.
I'm sure you guys have all heard. The existence of this regime, its ideology, is based on death to America, death to Israel. And by death to America, this is just not a mantra. They actually mean it. They indoctrinate young children from young age, from 6, 7 years old. When you start going to school, they indoctrinate this thought into your mind that the West is the evil civilization. America is the enemy of Islam and of Iran. Now, the example of these girls is so shocking to see, and we wanted you to see them in person, to hear their story in person, because this is what they do to their own people, What will this regime do to us as Americans? That they continue to chant death to America. They will stop at nothing. They have attacked their Muslim neighbors, countries that have helped them to negotiate deal here and there. They've attacked Oman, Qatar, from all the countries in the region. They will not end within their own borders. The suppression does not end at their own borders. They want America gone. They want Israel to be wiped off the map. And therefore, President Trump understood that President Trump did not start a war. President Trump is ending a war after 47 years of this country wanting to end.
Today.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that the Persians, I think, are almost as excited as the Cubans are right now, okay? As a Cuban American. Mercedes, let me ask you, what does America mean to you?
About the rape of nurses.
آمریکا برای چه احساسی داره اینجایی؟
Okay. I'm very happy to stay here because the country is safe for me. I had to go from my country and came to the Turkey, after that Germany, and now I'm here and safe here. And when I see my country, I'm very sad about my country that happened in this now, because the Islamic Republic killed the people, and that from that the Islamic Republic scared the people. They know when the people more strange and come to the streets. They gone the Islamic Republic, and the people of Iran is very now is very happy about this war, and because
this is contrary. I want to ask you. Just recently, some Western mainstream media, such as CNN.
Wait, you said CNN?
Yeah. I know. I always feel like I gotta. Aired.
I love these people.
I know.
I love them.
CNN aired 4 minutes from Press TV,
yes,
as Iranian state TV, solely based for propaganda. CNN aired 4 minutes directly from them. That's 4 minutes every Iranian watches their own TV. Just imagine that we watch more than they watch their own state TV, showing that the people of Iran are rallying against, rallying around the flag and are against the U.S. U.S. Attack on Iran. Is that true? Is that what you're seeing?
No,
in Iran? What are you hearing from inside?
That is a fake, and that is the little people that support the Islamic Republic, and they are a killer. They are the Ba'ath forces, and the police are all time in the street, control the people, and they want the people scared. But my people don't scare. My people on 8th and 9th February from the called the King Reza Pahlavi, say them go to the street, and the people and
you started again. And
okay, let
my people.
I really want to. I want to hear. We got to hear these wonderful guests.
Sorry, my people are stand behind the King Reza Pahlavi, and we are here, the voice of the people of Iran.
Let's ask Rahele one question. Now, if I may ask Rahele, we talked about this. What will it, as we're hearing that they're still killing people on the street, what will it take for people to go back on the street?
Oh, sorry, I can't.
Will they go back on the street?
Yeah. Sorry, I can't speak English very well, but I read because it's important. The people of Iran will go back the streets We have already shown our courage. We went out when the regime was not weak, when it was strong and violent, when we knew the risk was very high and still people came. So now, when we see that the regime is weaker than before,
Thanks to President Trump.
yeah,
And
yeah,
our troops, and our brave troops.
yeah, of course people will go back again. Of course, we will do our part. The people of Iran are ready. They just need the right conditions, less repression, and the chance to be heard. And when that moment comes, they will return to the streets again. People are waiting for the final opportunity, the return to the streets under the leadership of Prince Reza Pahlavi, and yeah, and determine their own future, because many people in Iran see him as the only opposition they trust, King Reza Pahlavi or Prince Reza Pahlavi. Yeah.
So, Mercedes, I would love for you to look at the camera and send a message to your sisters in Iran, in Persian. Send that message of hope. What do you want them to know?
I just want to tell the people in here and my country, the Iranian people, we don't any reform. For example, the Ghalibaf, Khatami, Mousavi, Rouhani, blah, blah. Yeah. We don't any reform in Iran, and my people very hopeful, very strong. They don't want Islamic Republic, and they are very happy. The President Trump killed the IRGC and Khamenei.
Yeah.
And everyone.
Yeah.
We are very hopeful. When I give the message from Iran, they are happy from the bombing, because they know the Islamic Republic weak and more and weak.
Yeah.
Hiba, I want to ask you, because there's always this concern in America that this could be prolonged, right? That this could turn out to be a prolonged situation, which is not where I think the American people want to be. What's your message to them?
I can promise you, Iranian people are ready to go back on the street. President Trump is providing the condition for, it is the job of Iranian people to take back their own country. It is not our American job. But what we're doing, we're making sure that our people, our children are safe, because we cannot tolerate, President Trump understands that he cannot let the biggest, greatest state sponsor of terror have nuclear weapon, and he's making the world safer for our children. And at the same time, while he's doing that, he's providing that window of hope and window of opportunity for Iranian people to take back their country. So it's working for both groups. And I am confident. I mean, these brave women, as they said, they went on the streets knowing that the regime was going to kill them, knowing that the regime was as strong as they can be. But now the situation is different. Iranians are ready to do their part. They will do their part. They will go out on the streets. It will not be an easy road for them. I am sure of that. I don't consider I don't want to say I'm Iranian. They are different. They have experienced
They are
something.
heroes.
They're heroes.
They are heroes in their country.
And there is 90 million of them.
Yes.
92 million of them. There are 92 million.
And let me tell you, I have 5 daughters. Hiba has her beautiful daughter, Celine. I want my daughters to know these women. And I need you all to go home and tell your daughters, these are brave women who are willing to fight for freedom and for what is good. Be inspired by them. Be inspired by their stories. Know that they are not going to stop speaking up against brutality and terrorism that's happening in Iran. The madness needs to stop. We got to make Iran free again, and we're going to make sure that America stands strong by their side. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
In a time of broken promises, one man stood apart and kept his word. He secured the border, unleashed American energy dominance, cut taxes, defended women's sports, crushed crime, ended government weaponization, brought back jobs, defunded Planned Parenthood, cut off USAID giveaways, ended taxpayer funding for PBS and NPR, and protected American values. Promises made, promises kept. Donald J. Trump.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Commies Go Home, the stories of the American heroes of Goshen. Please welcome CEO and founder, Breakthrough Ideas, Jeannie Eyes. No Goshen, Michigan activist, Lori Brock. No Goshen, Illinois activist, Jillian Rojas. Moderated by CPAC board member, Gordon Chang.
Hello, Patriots! Hello, great Americans! Have we got a story for you? The communists are everywhere in our country, and people ask, what can we do? What can I do? Well, these warriors have the answer, because they stopped the Chinese Communist Party. China's Goshen, one of the world's largest manufacturer of batteries, it was armed with hundreds of millions of dollars of subsidies from the governors of Michigan and Illinois, and they were going to build 2 factories in our country. But these women said, not so fast, and they stopped Goshen. So Lori Brock, you're from Michigan, where you stopped that Chinese company.
Yes, we are.
Tell us how you did it.
Well, it started, it's really kind of fishy because we didn't know anything about it. Our community had no idea what was going on until someone left us something in our mailbox. And then they said, you better get to your meeting. And we did, and we found out that they had already kind of pretty much bought off the local officials, and they were ready to break ground a month later. And we got back out and we said, we got to stop them. And so a few friends of mine got together, and we decided that we had to do something, and we had to take control of our community back. So we led a township recall, and we recalled all the people that were available to be recalled. And then we went to the next township, and we recalled them. And then we went to our county commissioners, and we took 5 of the 7 seats there as well.
So this started with a small group of townspeople who said they were not going to permit this.
Right. Well, and it was scary because they said it was a done deal. Over and over, we were told it was a done deal and there was nothing that we could do to stop it. Well, we had to prove that we were going to stop it, but they were brutal to us. I mean, they tried to ruin our businesses. They legitimately told me if I didn't stop, they were gonna do something to get my attention, and they poisoned 2 of my horses, one of which died. They just made our lives miserable, and they literally took elected officials and went to the county courthouse and tried to find dirt on me and other people in our community. What they wanted to do was ruin anybody that was trying to stop them. And it's scary, you know, and so we were trying to get people to stand up, and at the same time, they're attacking me so hard that people were scared to stand up at first, but they realized that we were gonna keep fighting, so they finally started standing behind us, and now our whole community, there's over 3,000 people there, and we've probably got about 8,000 people behind us that are, and we've you know, got these guys as well, so.
Yeah.
So in our own country, this Chinese company thought that it could intimidate the people of Green Charter Township, Michigan.
Right. The thing that's scary and what we want to warn people about is never to let these people into your communities. They got in, and now we're facing close to $1 million legal battle. And we're a community of 3,000 people. We started this fight with just us donating money. Everybody could. We gave as much as we could. And now we're stuck with this huge legal battle because Chuck Thielen, the vice president of Goshen, said repeatedly, if we're not wanted, we'll leave. Well, we proved that they weren't wanted when we did our surveys. Over 95% of the people didn't want Goshen. So we knew we were on the right path. But now they're leaving, but they're taking us to federal court. And we're getting sued, and there's no end in sight. They just keep coming at us. And I'm so scared for other communities that they're going to have to face the same thing because they're trying to make an example out of us to show that they can bankrupt us. That way, you know, no one else will stick up for themselves. But we're going to fight back. You know, we've got a lot of plans, so.
Jeannie Ives, you've been leading the effort in Illinois. She's fresh from the battle. Now the struggle is in your community. Tell us what you guys are doing.
Well, Goshen did a two-part deal. First of all, they wanted a manufacturing plant up in Michigan, and then they wanted an assembly battery plant in Manteno. And so this was, again, part of the big green energy scam stuff that both Whitmer and Governor Pritzker are all in on. And so Governor Pritzker, this is the type of business that he wants to attract. And by the way, there's zero private job growth in the state of Illinois. The only job growth you get is when you incentivize with taxpayer money these companies to come in. And so he promised Goshen $536 million to start an assembly battery plant in Illinois. And then he backed that up with like all sorts of property tax deals and other incentives as well. And so nobody knew about this until there was a big announcement in September of 23. And that's when the local people found out about it. And immediately they started to organize against it. I'm more at the state level looking at this and saying, my son is serving in the Navy, and you're giving the #1 adversary of America, you're giving them $500 million to compete against us. This is insane. And so I started to help take up the fight with these folks, but really Jillian Rojas is a member of the Concerned Citizens of Manteno, which immediately organized against this Goshen plant in Manteno, a small city of 9,000 people. And so essentially it all started in a parking lot, really, and started saying, hey, we got to get to this community meeting, and I'll let Jillian pick up the story from there.
Yeah, thank you for having us here today to share our No Goshen, Illinois story. And so our mayor had signed some non-disclosure agreements under Project Unity and gone around to the different taxing bodies to secure $2 million in tax incentives, which would benefit Goshen. Initially, we started hearing about Project Unity. Then we heard that a lithium battery manufacturing Goshen, who is owned by High Goshen, was coming to our town. And when our governor came to town to make the announcement, that was when we linked Goshen and Project Unity together. And we knew at this point that we had to form a group of people, and we formed the Concerned Citizens of Manteno, and we stood together to keep the community informed about our lawsuit that we have filed against this company. And so we're working together to keep the community informed. It's a grassroots effort. We do not want this CCP-affiliated company in our town producing these lithium batteries because they are very dangerous, not only to the local community, but to our water, to our national security. So we really are in this effort together to help to spread the word and to let people know that even if you are just a grassroots person, you can make an impact on your community. You can get together as a group of people and say, we do not accept this. We do not accept you giving $125 million to Goshen, $530 in tax incentives at a local level. It's just, why are we giving this money to an adversary? Why aren't we keeping it here for the American people?
Yeah, so, I mean, but it's really important to point out, when Jillian talks about $125 million, I'm talking about the fact that Governor Pritzker literally cut them a check for $125 million after he had approved this project, and they had this huge rollout with every Democrat leader you can imagine in the state of Illinois, with the head of ComEd there, with the head of Nicor Gas promising them brand new transmission lines, brand new gas piping, which, by the way, they want to get rid of in the state of Illinois, completely get rid of coal and natural gas and oil. They want to get rid of it, yet they are touting the fact that they were going to build Goshen, a Chinese communist-backed company, an EV battery plant, all this new infrastructure. And the $125 million that he wrote him a check for was used for a land grab around the Goshen plant, and used, actually, because money's fungible, used to actually defend against the lawsuit that the community started up against them. They're using our own tax money to try and put us out of business, to tell us to sit down and shut up. So
yeah, they've purchased over 231 acres of our surrounding farmland under a variety of LLCs. And members of our team have broke down these LLCs and linked all of their purchases. And you can check out more information on that at GoshenLandGrab.com, because we truly feel that behind the scenes, all these LLCs are linked to different CCP affiliated companies.
And ours goes right along with that same story. Governor Whitmer gave $715 million to Goshen. We can't get our roads fixed, yet all our tax dollars are going to fund a CCP-backed company. We are just disgusted by it. And the fact that we couldn't even get our environmentalists to help us. I contacted 38 different environmental groups in Michigan to get help because we're within a mile of the Muskegon River, which will dump right into the Great Lakes. Muskegon Watershed wouldn't help us, the Great Lakes Watershed wouldn't help us, Ducks Unlimited, you name it. Finally, I got so angry, I'm like, why will not anybody help us? And then off the table or whatever, they called me and said, we can't because our funding will get cut by Whitmer if we do help you. I said, so you're an environmental group, but you won't help save our environment? This is crazy, you know?
Yeah. Our plant sits 10 miles from the Kankakee, Illinois River, which is one of the cleanest rivers in the state of Illinois and in the country. And we don't even know how they're going to be filtering the water in this facility. So what's going to happen when the tables are poisoned and eventually leached into the Kankakee River, which eventually will run to the Mississippi River? So it's not just an Illinois problem, it's a USA problem. Could you imagine the Mississippi River polluted with lithium iron phosphate, synthetic graphite? I mean, what are we doing to our communities?
Well, and lithium is a forever chemical. It doesn't stop. So it's going to continue killing all the time, but they didn't care. Where we are at, we're right across the street from where the Goshen building was going, and there's a certified trout stream on my property, and they didn't care. It would be giving lithium dust every time they unloaded their semis, and nobody cared. And it's just very frustrating to see that you don't have any support from your state, and you know, it's like the people have to stand up. And we're here just to try to get people to understand that you've got to have a voice. You might be standing alone for a minute, but as soon as people realize what's going on and you tell them the truth, they're going to back you up. And that's exactly what our community did. And I'm sure that's what you guys, we all got connected as well because of this fight. And there's when you have numbers, you know, there's a great thing when you can bring people together to fight these type of companies.
But we appreciate Gordon Chang getting in the fight with us. When I had Gordon on my radio show a few different times, and he's just he's written about Goshen. He's taken an interest in Goshen. He's got some national attention, but we've gotten no local media attention on this at all, which is shameful. And in Illinois, where we're in the super minority as Republicans, you know, and then also there's all these other issues to fight, this issue gets left behind, but it's literally, we are taking on big government and big Chinese all at the same time in defense of what we see as our national security interest too. The last thing you want is them building grid scale batteries, which by the way, is what happened. When they shut down the plant in Michigan from Goshen, which was supposed to be the manufacturing plant, and the Illinois plant was only supposed to be battery assembly. What they did is they moved the manufacturing to Illinois. And Governor Pritzker is super favorable to this type of stuff. In fact, just a few months ago, he passed legislation saying that they're going to spend $8 billion putting in grid-scale batteries, which is a total boondoggle. And now, so but Goshen is shifting from building EV batteries for like Rivian, which is just down the street in Normal, Illinois, to now building grid-scale batteries for his green energy fantasies of Governor Pritzker. So this is what's going on. They're moving the goalposts as the market changes, but they found a favorable place in the state of Illinois. I want to give a shout out, though, to both Congressman Darren LaHood and Congressman Molinar, because they did have the No Goshen Act, and they put provisions of the No Goshen Act into the One Big Beautiful Bill, and that basically takes away federal credits for these green energy scams, which is good, because obviously Goshen was counting on $7 billion of all of our tax money at the federal level. That looks like it's getting shut down, but yet the state incentives are so powerful in Illinois that they're continuing to fight us in court.
Jillian, we only have a few minutes left. What would you like to tell the American people?
I would just like to say, please remember that you can fight as a grassroots activist. We are standing up to a Chinese affiliated company, and you can check out more information about us at nogoshen-illinois.com. We also want people to be aware of the broader concern that this Goshen facility sits 20 minutes from the Kankakee, Illinois Army Aviation Recruitment Facility, and it also sits 90 miles from the Great Lakes Naval Base in Illinois. So we just want to keep spreading the word. We could really use some help with our lawsuit. If people want to check us out, we would love to share more information. And we really thank you for your time, for having us here today.
Lori?
I as well wanted to put a few shout outs to John Molinar helped us immensely, as did Pete Hoekstra and Joe Sella, Lana Tice. We've had a lot of political help, and we're very thrilled for that. A lot of this is national security as well. I live in Big Rapids, Michigan, which is right by Ferris State University. Had no idea that there was a cybersecurity program there, but the Chinese nationalists knew. And that's all they cared about, was seeing that building and going to school there or whatever. But that is such a breach of our top secrets. And it's like, why are they doing this? And we also have Camp Grayling, which is just 90 miles away as well, which is, a military base. We should not be doing this. And so I'm so thankful for the people that have stood up to help us. And we also have, if anyone wanted to help us, we have a group called www.protectmacasta.org. And that's for people to help us with donations toward our lawsuit. Because if we lose we're not going to lose the lawsuit, but fighting this lawsuit is costing us, a lot of money for a small township. And if we could get some help that way, that would be amazing, because we sure the heck don't want to file bankruptcy and have Whitmer get control of us. So thank you all for everything.
Thank you.
And Jeannie, wrap it up.
Well, I think my message to you is that every single election is important, and that goes to your city officials, your township officials, your state officials, obviously Congress. It's all important. You cannot just leave it up to the people who decide to show up. You have to show up and vote, and you have to tell people what's going on. So, you can't just leave this to chance. These elected officials will say one thing to get elected, they'll do the opposite. So then, once they're in office, you have to watch them. Again, everything that you're talking about here in Illinois and Michigan was done behind the backs of the constituents that these people purportedly were supposed to represent. And, it was all done with non-disclosure agreements, and it's really hard to fight after the fact. So the same lawyers that kicked out the Chinese Communist Party from their farmland purchase near the air base in North Dakota are the same lawyers that helped with the Michigan deal. They're the same lawyers that the Mantino, Concerned Citizens of Mantino hired but we're in the middle of discovery. The Chinese government, Goshen is slow walking discovery, and so is the village of Manteno and other affiliated people. So we're still in this fight to win that legal battle. I think that in the end we win, but they're going to try and wait us out and try and destroy us on the money side. Yeah. Yep.
So, Americans, we are going to take our country back. We are going to take our country back, one parking lot, one town meeting, one state at a time.
United!
So,
Stay united, America!
no Goshen!
No Goshen!
No CCP!
No CCP.
We are Americans.
America.
We stand our ground. We do not yield. And God damn it, we defend our communities.
Yeah.
So let those Chinese companies hear us.
Yeah.
USA! 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 Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, everyone.
As Congress stalls on AI, it's the states, red and blue, stepping up to protect America.